Hey guys, it's Nicole and I am back with the process video. Sorry it's been so long. So I have prepped my background page already with this gold glitter paste that I've been wanting to play with, and I just used a stencil that was in my kit and did it in just some various spots around the background. And I'm actually doing a scrap lift from, let me go grab her name. And it doesn't turn out quite the same, but the inspiration started from a layout from Ashley Calder, and it's a layout on masterfulscrapbookdesign.com in one of the handouts for that classroom. And so I just wanted to make sure I gave her credit because that's where I started with this layout. And so anyway, I am just trying to find some papers that I want to use. This photo is from a picture. Actually, a photographer had given us copies of pictures she'd taken of me and my friend when she took pictures of us for a newspaper article. And so she gave us all the extras because obviously they only use one. And this is one of them. And it was about being in preparation for opening my shop, what my shop was about. So anyway, as I'm sitting here picking out some papers and colors, I do want to tell everyone that I did start blogging again. I've been thinking about it for the last few weeks and have been just motivated to get back into it. And so I already have 2 posts up. It's nmackin.blogspot.com. And it's mostly going to be scrapbooking related. There'll be a few personal things in there, obviously, because scrapbooking is about life, and it's going to be a mix of both, but it's going to be mostly focused on scrapbooking. So definitely check that out, guys. Anyway, and so here I decided on a very, very, very thin mat for the paper, for the photo, I'm sorry. And so I just did this really small pink mat, and I ended up going with the paper that I have to end up changing it to a different paper that I like a lot better. So, and the sketch just has, a piece of paper just that goes along the top. And so that's what I'm following there. And so that's where it's similar, but like the rest of the layout is fairly different. Like the, pattern paper being along the top and where the photo placement is very similar to the layout I'm scraplifting, but then the rest of it ends up being very different. So I decided I don't like that, mostly because my paper is white and that was a very cream-based page. And this is from the same line, so it's more cream, but because it's the white cream color is in really small lines, it looks white when it's up against white, so it doesn't look like it's a cream based layout on a white page, if that makes sense. So I find that, and I hadn't seen that my first split through, so I must have missed it, but I was pumped to find that because it had that goldish yellow in there that I thought went really well with the gold paste that I had. And I really wanted to use these bows. So on the layout I'm scraplifting, there was like a little banner of bows underneath the photo. And that was actually why I picked it, because I really wanted to use all these bows on that. And I thought that would be a great way to use up a good portion of them. And I kind of play with this for a little bit. And as you can see, I don't like it at all. And I don't end up using any of them. Go figure. So I'm just kind of messing around with this for a little bit. And deciding that I don't think it's going to work. So then I kind of play around and like, well, what if I just put a couple up here and one down along this bottom section, and I don't end up really liking that either. So, and I hope my video, my phone updated recently, and the program I use to do this all of a sudden won't upload or access any of my photos because I always add photos at the end. And now my video even seems really skippy as I'm recording this voiceover. So I hope it's not, I Anyway, so I have this one random bow left over from I think Maggie Holmes, and I decided that color, that dark pink color, actually goes a lot better with that that paper and with my shirt, and so I decided to go with that. And so then now I'm just trying to figure out where to go, because I kind of decided I don't want to embellish the page like she did, because I didn't have that kind of title. I knew I wanted a bigger title, but her title went kind of like in a column below the photo, and I didn't want to do that because I figured that would be too much if I use these gold letters for that. And but I decided to do a big title, but just in a different way, and I ended up putting it over this bottom section here, and then just kind of interlaying it with that bow, which I really like how that turned out. This is definitely a different layout for me. This is not typical, and I've been trying to do some things different, because I kind of tend to do the same things over and over, and it gets kind of old. And with the layering, and I do different things every so often, but it's just fun to just try something new and to do a layout that looks different than any of my other layouts, and this is definitely one of them. And I love how eclectic and just funky it ends up looking. I end up being really happy with it, but I have to play a little bit and figure it out. So let's see. So yeah, I have these hearts that match the title, and decided to kind of just scatter them throughout the page. And I pretty much leave them where they're at now. I adjust them a little bit here and there, but I really kind of liked that just whimsical feel of them just kind of floating out there. But then a couple of them grounding, like the one grounds that photo, and I like how that looked. Oh, sorry guys. So then I kind of feel like I need something between that, just a little border of something underneath that strip of paper. And I think it's here where yes, I think so. Maybe not. Guys, I don't know if I hope my voiceover is matching my video, because it just isn't looking like it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. Anyway, so here I had this, I think it was the back of that paper, has that blue in there. And I love the idea of adding in a different color into the layout. And so just to give me more options. And so, I know that the paper has multiple colors in it, but this kind of adds in one more color that I've chosen for it, to stand out, to be added in its own way by itself, if that makes sense. So I just do a thin little border, and I think that finishes off that top piece a little bit. It's not like a paper that flowed into the white. It was a very stark difference, and so I like having that separation, and really like that. So I have some blue elements I'd like to get along the bottom, and a new direct color. So let's see what I'm doing here. I can't see my hands. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, so here I'm just starting to go through all my stickers and embellishments and picking different ones that that goes really well color-wise and theme-wise, and I go through all of those items first, and now I'm pulling out all the smaller embellishment pieces, some chipboard, some just regular stickers. And this sticker I thought I wanted, but I don't believe I end up going with it. And I'm kind of looking for, I'm open to obvious colors that are in that top paper, but also any vintage feeling items, because the picture isn't me in front of a bunch of my vintage supplies I had collected from my shop. And so that theme goes really well with the photo too. So I find this 25-cent piece that looks vintage and, you know, is that really pretty blue. And so I just fiddle with this a little bit to get it to fit into that little cluster there. And I try to take it off to see if I can try it somewhere else, but it tore up some paper, and I was okay with it. I think it looks fine. I like it there. And it just adds in some of that blue along the bottom just to even that out a little bit. So I just keep looking, and I liked this like ribbon because I felt like it fit the theme, like because it was about, you know, I'm opening a store and you think ribbon cutting and you think, you know, achievement kind of thing. I thought that worked well. Now I'm going through my 12 by 12 sheets that were in my kit of chipboard and stickers, and I just have to like filter through them and here I contemplate putting some more gold up there because there wasn't any gold in that corner, and I decided against it. I think it's too much, and so I ended up just balancing that out by adding in some gold enamel dots down the road up there so that there's some gold up there. So here I fiddle around. I think that this might be pretty, but the blues end up being quite a bit different, and I don't like, it just is a lot lighter, and so I didn't like that. Here I again fiddle with a few different pieces, and I don't like them, and I didn't want this matte gold when I have a lot of this shiny glittery gold, so I very quickly decided against that. And I'm just kind of stumped at this point, to be honest with you. Sometimes it just takes that filtering through some stuff to say, oh, that's perfect. So here I find this sheet caught my attention because it just had a lot of the colors. And so I come across this camera that I think is really cute because it was a photography session, and well, cameras go with any scrapbook layout, but specifically this one was like a photography session. So I thought that was cute. And I added in a gold enamel dot in the middle and a pop dot underneath, and thought that looked really cute with that. You know, I was starting a little cluster over there, and I thought that was cute. So, so now just looking for some more things that match, and looking again one more time, just trying to get some idea of what I wanted to do. I know I wanted a little bit more embellishment, not a ton. I wanted some decent white space on here, but I find this chipboard piece and a couple chipboard pieces, and decided that old typewriter would be perfect just because of the theme of the page. And then I just tuck it in underneath those, and I love that. And then this chipboard, I just kind of layer towards the bottom left of the photo, and I like kind of how that's floating there, but it feels like it kind of grounds the picture, but it's kind of, I don't know, I just think it looked really cute. I like how it's layered over the gold dots, and get some pink to that area as well, some of that darker pink. So I decided to grab from I have a pile of like my brads and enamel dots and finishing touches, and decide that I end up using like three brads, two of them that have like little flags or banners attached to them. All right, oops. Okay, so, oh yeah, so here I have this, and I like how it says adventure on there in the blue, and then it had that pink brad. And I like the word adventure just because, again, this layout was about starting a new business, and that's obviously an adventure, so that worked perfect. Now I do end up moving it over to the right a little bit because I wanted it to have the same margin to the left of it that the typewriter does on the right, so it feels like so it's not kind of lopsided, if that makes sense. And then I end up moving that gold heart over a little bit just to ground it a little bit and make it part of this horizontal cluster that's starting to form. That includes the photo. So then I find I'd like to have one more brad. Actually, I end up doing, So then this one, because it's the same pattern as the top, I put this in the bottom just to add to that little cluster a little bit and get some more color down there of that, or some more of the multicolor. It also says happy, happy, which I love, and that yellow. It's nice having that pulled in since I have that yellow up top as well. So I glue that down, and then I punch the hole and get that in there. And then I wanted to get something up, one more item up there with that top right cluster, and I come across this very vintage looking, I think the white part looks like an old receipt, I think, or yeah, it just has a very vintage feel to it. And I'm sorry you got my face there. That is not pretty. And so I just tuck that in there with that cluster up there. And now I'm ready just for some enamel dot finishing touches because I'm happy with how this layout looks overall. And so I just add some enamel dots. I'm just going to scatter them throughout. I'm sorry, guys. I'm tired. You're getting to hear me yawn a lot. I'm sorry. I had an enamel dot to the middle of that bow. I think that looked really cute. Okay, so then I decided I need to journal. Of course, right? And so I know I'm going to journal on that top left tag, but that's not enough room. And so I decided to just add some lines in between the middle of the page there. And just because if I try to write freehand, it's just a mess. And when I have that big of a space to fill, I just don't want to end up having it going crooked or whatever. So I draw some lines and then journal. And I think the video is going to cut off here because my phone is just silly. And then so there'll be another video that will pop up here that will show you like the layout after it was done with the journaling. But I journal on those lines, and then I journal on that tag in the top left. The top left, I just journal the basic kind of what this picture is about, and then on the lines, I kind of journal more about how excited I am to mix my love with handmade, and I'm doing that via the shop, and this picture's like a celebration of that. So journaling is always the hardest part for me, that and titles, which is why I have lame titles most of the time. And I mean, it just depends. Like sometimes it comes naturally and sometimes it doesn't. It's just the way it goes, I guess. So here it cuts off. Now here's just a video of my layout since my pictures won't attach. Done with the journaling. And I thank you guys so much for watching. And we'll be back soon. Thanks, guys. Happy scrapping. Again, nmackin.blogspot.com. Bye-bye.